Yo guys, what is up? This is Scammers from MenuDocs coming back at you with another episode. Except today it's going to be something a little bit different. We're not doing Discord.py today, we're not doing how to host your bot. We're going to be doing a hopefully short and to the point video on how to use PyCharm, one of Python's best IDEs in my opinion. So you want to go ahead to Google, just search up PyCharm, jump on their website, and then you're going to want to go download, and then we're just going to click download, and you're just going to follow through with the installation. And then once you've got it installed, you should be good to go, and then you can open it up into this menu here. So a quick little note about what PyCharm is. So we've been using Atom for our current tutorial series, but I just feel like changing over to PyCharm. We're at that point where you should be getting a bit better. And PyCharm's just more of an IDE. It helps you out, it points out some issues, whereas Atom is more of just a text engine. You can write text, you can put things, you can run it. But PyCharm's just that next step up, and it does have a bit of a learning curve, which is why I'm doing this video today. So you'll get to the screen, we're just going to go ahead, click new project, and there's a couple things right away that are immediately different. So if you haven't encountered them before, PyCharm likes using virtual environments. So a virtual environment in Python essentially means, so when you go ahead, when you type in pip freeze in your command prompt, that'll show all the currently installed modules for your system globally, so any program can access them. But that's kind of, not in program specific. Like, what if you make a really specific program and you want to deploy it somewhere, but you don't want to install 50 other modules that you've used just because they're installed globally? Well, we're going to make a virtual environment, and that means it's going to be specific to just that project. And then when you do pip freeze, it'll only show you what you've used for your actual environment. But if you don't like doing that, if you like using it the way it is, you can use your existing interpreter. That'll just use the global one. But we're going to use this, and what should we call this? Discord dots, and then we're just going to go to PyCharm. If you need to locate it, you can just click this button here. There's the home directory, which is not going to be useful for you. You can click the desktop directory, and then from there you can just see all of your directories and things from there. And so I'm just going to use Discord bots, and we're going to call it PyCharm, and then we're going to go click create. But some other things here is, if you want to be able to use these, use all your global site packages, make it available for all projects, you can select those, or you can select all the other sort of virtual environments, Conda and things if you want those. But we'll go ahead, we'll create it, and jump right into it. So it's going to go ahead, it's going to create your virtual environment, and you're going to notice a lot more buttons everywhere. So there's a few things up here we're going to cover, there's a few we're not going to cover, such as structure, favorites, and a few of the ones just up the top left here. But what I am going to cover today is the project. We're going to cover Git, how to integrate with that, as well as running it, and the difference between terminal and the configs up here, and how to actually get your program running. So in the project view over here, which will be this little one up here, it's like the working tree in Atom. You can click the drop down arrow to see everything. This is just our virtual environment, so there's nothing in here. External libraries, don't even worry about that. And then in PyCharm, we're just going to go right click, new. You can choose file, or you can just go Python file. We're going to go main.py, and that's a Python file. And we can go ahead, and let's say we want to, well, I'm gonna prettify some prints. So we're gonna go data equals bang bang dictionary, wrong view, thank you very much. And then let's go ahead and let's go 1, and then in that we're going to put another dictionary of 1, then that's going to have a key of 2, and then, well, let's make this 0, let's make this 1, and then let's go 1, 2, and then we're going to have another one of these, and I'm just doing this so that we can get a nice print using pretty print. 3, and then we're going to go 3, 4. And so you can save that there, and then you'll notice here that there is a nice little underline, because PyCharm also, by chance, has an inspector. So it's going to pop up, you can see the problems, there's no new line at the end of the file. So P8 is essentially just Python's style guide, how to make it Pythonic, how to make it look good. So it expects an underline at the end, and we can also go ahead and, so let's go import Discord like we would for our bot. You notice that it's grayed out, and that's because there's no module named Discord, so we can go install package. But I'm not going to do that because it's actually discord.py. So we can go down here to the terminal. We can go pip. We've got pip installed. We go pip freeze. You'll notice that unlike the command prompt before, we don't have any packages, so we can go pip install discord.py. And now you'll notice if we freeze this, it only comes up with the requirements for discord.py. You can create some more sessions of terminals here if you want. You can close them, but we're not going to use that. We're going to go from ppprint import ppprint. So you notice it's still grayed out. That's just PyCharm telling us we haven't actually used that variable name. So it's how you can easily see if you have got nothing being used. And so, well, I want to run it. Well, pressing F5 is actually how you copy a file, not how you run a file in PyCharm. So you're going to have to hit up here and you're going to use this run button, but you'll notice that there is nothing there. So essentially you're going to have to add a configuration. You have all these templates and things drop down, but we're going to click this plus button here. We're going to click Python, and don't worry about the name or things. It'll automatically choose that. Just go to script path. It'll take you to your little directory. Choose the file you want. We're going to click OK. So we're making a configuration file for how we should run main.py. So that's the script path. If you need to pass in parameters, when you call it, you can put them in here. And then we've also got things down here that you don't really have to worry about. If you really need to emulate terminal and the account console output just for some certain functions and things, you will click that button. Otherwise, you are good to go. And then we can just click apply, click OK. And now you notice up here we've got a drop down menu. So we can pick main, we can make another configuration, but then we can just click run. You notice it prints it out. We don't have a big enough dictionary here to be able to do this to make it print properly, but that's alright. It's ran, it's worked down here, and then we're just going to go ahead and we can rerun it. Let's import time. So actually, we can go like this. You can go time.sleep. And we'll sleep for 5 seconds. Now you notice it's red. That means we haven't imported it or there's an issue. So you can just go unresolved difference. How do we fix that? Well, it'll give you suggestions. So you can click more actions. You can figure out you can rename the reference, ignore it, but we're going to import the name and we're going to import that from time. And then you notice it puts the imports at the top. We can run it again. And you notice it's running. There's a red. We can stop it with the full stop, with the square. You can run it. You notice we can run it with this. It'll just keep running. You can just press stop. It'll stop. And that's pretty much that in terms of simple PyCharm, how to run your program. And it's also just quite nice. Let's go ahead and let's make a j.json. And there is also some nice syntax highlighting. String. So it works with key value pairs. And it highlights them. Real nice. Except you have to put the thing in the thing. And it just highlights them real nice. So you've got blue strings for the keys, and then these are all the values. It's just really nice. And you'll notice we've got heaps of different things, so you can make different directories, HTML files, ignore files, for literally everything. We can refactor. I will show you that in a bit actually. So if we go down here, let's make a little simple program. Def hello. All it says is print hello. Just have it print the name, and then we can just go down here and we can just go up and just name. Damn, I can't spell. What should the name be? My name in there. You notice again it's popped up with a little underline. It's expected 2 blank lines, just for PPAT, and then it'll also expect another one underneath. Bang, boom, easy, done. Let's run it. Hello, Ethan. Now, what if I make this a variable? So we'll go name equals Ethan, and we'll call name. But let's say we want to rename this. We want to redo it. You could go first name equals Ethan, first name equals Ethan. But that's a lot of work, right? And you don't know if you've got all of them right. So you can right click, we can go to Refactor, Rename, and we can rename the variable. And it gives us all these options. So we can search in the comments and strings. The scope is going to be project files, so that's just all of this up here. And if we click Refactor, you'll notice it's changed this and it's changed that. And that means we don't have to do any work. So rather than having to go through your entire project, trying to figure out this, trying to figure out that, and making sure that you've renamed everything, you don't have to bother. You can quite simply put, just right click, Refactor, and it'll go through, it'll find everywhere where you use that variable, and it'll rename it. So it works. Now let's say we've got another file. File.py. Let's take hello, put it in here, and we can delete it from here. We can go from file, import hello, and it works perfectly fine. That's just standard Python. But something that this has also over Atom is we can be working in this file, go hello, name, how is your day? And then if we click run in here, it doesn't run this file, it runs the one that we've selected, which is actually quite cool. So let's say we don't want to run main, we want to run file.py, we can go to config, we can add a new configuration, go down here and let's run this testing. Let's call it testing, and so this is going to be this, and then we're just going to call hello extra. No idea what that name is, but that's just on top of my head. So what's the issue here? Affected 2 blank lines. Oh, cool. We can run testing. You know, it runs this file. We can run main. It runs this file. And we don't even have to change the files to do it. So that's just another cool thing that you can do with PyCharm. And now, one of the other final things I'm going to show, we'll do the event log, which is where things pop up. But we will show that once I get Git working. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this in GitHub. We're going to go version control, enable version control integration. We're going to select Git. After that, we're going to go version control, Git, remotes, add a remote, and we need the repository. So let's go ahead and let's create a new repository. Call it PyCharm. Create the repository. There is our link right there. We can go ahead, we can copy this in here, click OK, checks the URL, make sure everything's okay. Might ask you for your username and password, just put it in, follow the instructions on screen, click OK, and now you'll notice we've changed color over here. So these files are red now, that means they aren't in the version. So they'll all these unversioned files. And there's quite a few we don't want. We don't want the vend, we don't want that. So we're going to right click on virtual environment. We're going to go down to Git, and we're going to go add to Git ignore, and we're going to add it to this one, which is a file that we need to create. And we're going to add that. View the directories, exclude that directory, and I want to add, no I don't. So now this is a Git ignore file, so it will mean that when we pop up here, it's actually not going to pop up. So all those files from the virtual environment before, they don't pop up. Go in there. And now we've got rid of all those other files as well. So now it's only just our default change list. And the default change list is all these ones in green. Green means they're ready to be committed, but they haven't been committed yet. Blue means they've been edited and they are, well, they're in the Git, but they've just been edited and committed. Red means they're unversioned files, so they're not quite committed yet. And we can just go through, we can just go Git, add, and that'll add everything. And then, quite simply put, you can just go commit. This is my GitHub. Commit. Boom. We can click commit. Then we can push that. It'll choose which one you want. Click push. You notice down here it's working, it's working, it's working. And boom, done. You can check the event log. It shows everything that's happened. And you can also change branches down here and things. You can create new branches, check out branches. Shows your interpreter. It shows what indents are, everything you've got running. So we'll just jump back in here. Not under those, please. And then we will close that. And then boom, look at that. Easy peasy. Let's close this project. And we can do get from version control as well. So we'll go back here to this home screen. And you can open up a project, pretty standard thing. Just boom, click OK. And then the project is open again. You can close the project, pretty simple. If you want to get it from version control, you're just going to need to get the code, get the gets for it, and then we just go bang, PyCharm, but let's call it PyCharm 2. Clone. It'll start cloning that into it, and then you're in here like that. Boom, easy peasy. Except let's open PyCharm in a new window, and let's add freeze. Let's pipe that into things.txt. Or it should be requirements, but I can't spell. I'm willing to bet I've got that wrong. Easy. Let's add this into our Git. And you can view files, always add that. So we'll commit this. Add that, commit. Let's push that off to GitHub. And then let's jump over here in PyCharm 2. So you'll notice we've got it connected. It'll automatically be connected since we've pulled it in things. We've already got the remote set up. And then we can just go to this blue one, click update project, and you can merge changes. So if we click rebase, it'll get the changes from the GitHub. It'll bring them in. And if there's any conflicts, it'll ask you to decide which one's correct. And if you click merge, it'll just merge them. So we're good to go. All files are updated. We've got this. And since this is a new virtual environment, we won't have, oh, we do actually, because we cloned it. But if you don't have any of them, then you can quite simply, I get the feeling I'm using the global interpreter here. However, you can just go pip, install, pack requirements.txt. I'm going to cancel that for now. But that's just how you do that. And then let's say we want to add a Readme file. Yes, please. They've got a nice viewer, so you can show preview only, you can show the editor, and you can show editor and preview. So if I go PyCharm, repo, this is my repo for the PyCharm tutorial. So I won't cover readmes and all of that, but you could just see it's got the highlighting, it's showing off a little preview on the side, and then if you want to just commit that, we can just add readme, commit that, push that off to our repository, and then we can just jump back up here. It should have added it, hopefully. Click refresh, boom, look at that, too easy. It's given us that exact, look at that. That is pretty much exactly what we got. And there's also more settings up here I like to put, so you want to, it won't be on by default. There's a setting where you have to double click files to open them. It's personal preference, but you can just go in here, you can click open files with a single click. Also, if you want to play around with anything up here, you can. Some other things I just recommend is going to settings, and then you don't need a file watcher. I'm just going to go to plugins real quick, take a look at some of my plugins installed. And so I've got a few plugins here. I've got the few themes downloaded, height, requirements.txt, and this is all just for supporting syntax highlighting. If you want rich presence in Discord, you can install this. And if I just quickly jump over to themes, if you'd like to see what theme I am using the Visual Studio's Code Dark Plus, and that's what I like. I've got my font at size 14 with a custom font, and well, that's all for this episode, guys. If there's anything else you need help with, feel free to jump in the Discord, and if you've watched this video, hopefully that should be all you need to be able to continue working through this series as we use PyCharm. Peace out, guys.